Hello, everybody at E-Free. This is Carl Frost, and I am filming this from Ball State. It's at the end of November, and I wanted to give you an update on what's happening in the ministry at Ball State and in Carolyn and I and our families' lives. I decided to film this outside because this is where ministry has been happening for us. A lot of it's been outside. We've done things online for sure. We've done services online. But our small groups, our discipleship, we have found ways to just meet outside. Here in about an hour, I'm going to have a Bible study with a handful of students, and it's probably high 30s, but we are all going to put our hats on and our gloves on, and we're going to meet outside. And so that's been a lot of ministry this semester. I think like many other churches, everything has looked different. We have less people connected to us than ever. We met less freshmen than ever on campus. And in a lot of ways, that's not super encouraging. But I am encouraged by the fact that God is still with us, and He is good, and He is working and moving, and He is pruning and sifting the church, and He is helping those of us who are Christians learn what's really even going on in our hearts and our heads. We're understanding the idols in our life, particularly in ministry, the things that can become idols, whether that's a large gathering or large services. And in a lot of ways, we are sticking to the basics, which we want to be about, which is discipleship, evangelism, leadership development. And so even though ministry has looked different for our church, for our staff, we are still connecting with students. We are still mentoring them. We're still sharing the gospel. But there are just honestly less people to get connected to. But what I am trusting is that we are still getting connected to the right people in that. And so I do a couple of small groups. And again, all of them have met. I think we've met over Zoom just a couple of times, but we've made the weather work for most of our meetings. Our staff meeting we had this morning, it was 38 degrees, and we had blankets and hats and gloves, and we met outside, and we were distanced in the appropriate way. And so we are still, again, trying to make that work. Now, understanding that's going to change here as the winter seasons go on. I think as a church, you can just pray probably what a lot of churches are looking for, just praying and discerning what to do, what to keep, what to change, what to shift, and how we do church, how we do our services, how we do discipleship, all of those types of things. Also, just how can we care for people? Because obviously in this time, people are more isolated than ever. People are in a lot of ways lonelier than ever. And so even how can we get connected to those college students, those members of our congregation that have been isolated, that have been, whether it's stuck in their dorm room or stuck in their home. As far as the family goes, my wife and I and kids, we're doing really good. My kids, 3 kids, have been in school face-to-face pretty much all semester, which seems crazy. But they've been able to do it. And so that's been good for my wife and I. But yeah, I think obviously there can be moments when we're all in the house together, but for the most part, even during kind of this COVID time, it's been a really sweet time for me and my family to be together and to be around each other more. And so that's good. But yeah, keep praying for our church. Keep praying for, again, even as we look at the spring semester, how can we adapt? How can we change? How can we connect with people in the midst of what God is doing? Because God's kingdom is continuing to advance. This pandemic has not stopped that. And it looks different for us. And so some days that can be discouraging. Some days I can be encouraged in that. But I just wanted to say I'm really grateful to be teamed up with you guys, to have you guys as partners. And I hope everything is going all right in the Twin Cities. And I look forward to the next time I get to be there in person with you guys. Love you guys. Thanks a lot.